Alright, the rumors are true. Lucid has officially done it. They've released the tri-motor Sapphire vehicle with 1200 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, and more impressive than that, 0 to 100 in under 4 seconds and a quarter mile time of under 9 seconds. They seem to be wanting to test it at Laguna Seca right now, but are running into some fog issues. They heavily were rumored to do this a couple days ago, but now that we have confirmation, we know it's officially $250,000. So yeah, you get some supercar type specs for technically less than what supercars would cost, but absolutely more powerful than the Plaid Model S, just for the price of about 2 Plaids. But I guess that's to be expected when you're trying to make a more luxurious interior. Hopefully they can stay on top of that software though, as I've seen more people complaining about boot up times and settings and responsiveness of that UI, but this isn't launching until next year. They've got some time to iron all those things out. But in today's video, even though I've been doubtful and skeptical of Lucid in the past, I want to play devil's advocate a little bit here and just advocate for why this may be the right move for them and why it's probably logical in many ways, because after the last earnings call, Lucid cut production estimates quite a bit. Originally, they were hoping to build 20,000 this year, then they cut that down to 12,000, now they're cutting it to 6,000, and frankly, given they barely built 1,000 in the first half, I have a hard time believing they're gonna overcome their logistics issues, and this production ramp that they're going through right now is proving to be way more difficult than they thought. But if you're trying to become more profitable and you're trying to keep the company afloat, coming up with more higher price trims and higher price tiers is basically your best bet. And I think Lucid leveraged their best technology available, because some of you may be wondering, like, how in the heck is Lucid able to build a triple motor vehicle that actually weighs more than the Plaid Model S but is still faster and better performing on the track? To all the Tesla fanboys out there that are convinced that Tesla has a software update and they just haven't unlocked it yet and then the Plaid Model S will go faster, yeah, no, sorry. Sometimes there's just some physics involved, and chemistry and how electrical wiring just works is on Lucid's side here. So if you've followed Lucid's powertrain development in the past, you know that they have come up with some state-of-the-art motors that are incredibly small and yet pack an insane amount of horsepower, and this is partially in thanks to Lucid's 800-volt architecture. So even in Tesla's six-figure vehicles like the Model S and the Model X, there's still more built on the 400-volt architecture, which means there's a bit less efficiency between the powertrain and the battery pack. Plus, Tesla is recycling a lot of older technology for the current Model S and X, and some people think that performance and acceleration just has everything to do with the powertrain, when in reality the battery pack does actually have an impact on how many electrons you can dump into that powertrain at the same time. So Tesla in the Plaid Model S is using the same old 1865 cells, at least in the cylindrical shape of the original Model S that came out 10 years ago. The Lucid Air is using more up-to-date cells like the 2170s that Tesla uses in the Model 3 and Y, which are typically more energy dense, and thanks to the 800-volt architecture Lucid has in their vehicle, they can more efficiently take their massive battery packs and dump tons of power into their powertrains, which allows them to accelerate and pack a big punch in torque and in horsepower, more so than Tesla can, because the Plaid Model S is rocking a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack, whereas they haven't disclosed the range of the Lucid Sapphire, but they have said that it will have industry-leading range, and considering the Grand Touring has a 113 kilowatt-hour pack, I have to imagine using these 2170 cells, they're still able to accelerate and metaphorically rev up those motors a whole lot faster, and that higher voltage architecture is part of the reason they can charge up faster as well, which is why Lucid Airs can max out at 350 kilowatts, whereas the Plaid Model S and X max out at 250 kilowatts. So Lucid clearly has put a huge amount of emphasis on making these super lightweight, super powerful powertrains, but I do think it has likely come at the cost of production capacity, because it's disappointing to see them cut production estimates and continue to just come up with more expensive tiers as time goes on. First, it was the Dream Edition at 170,000, and then they came up with the Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance version, which they were encouraging reservation holders to upgrade to, which cost $10,000 more than the Dream Edition. And now, even though there's a ton of people waiting for the Touring and the Air Pure, which are far cheaper, Lucid is still announcing and coming up with new tiers and new trims that are over $200,000 now. And I think that if you're having a hard time ramping production, coming up with more profitable vehicles, and frankly, I don't think it costs Lucid that much more to build the Sapphire. It's very similar, frankly, other than the color differences, to the Grand Touring. You just have a spoiler, some new color options, maybe some tweaks to the interior, and an extra motor in the back, which, knowing Lucid, these are compact, they're not going to take up too much space, and they're basically charging like $70,000 more for that vehicle that likely has a lot in common with the vehicles they're already building. So while I've been skeptical skeptical of Lucid, and I've expressed that I think the company's kind of in danger because of how slowly they're ramping. If there's no way to just fix and accelerate this ramp, maybe going to lower volume, more high-price vehicles is their best bet towards profitability, and hopefully in the meantime, as they make the Sapphire and that becomes more profitable, they can use that money to fund their Air Pure development and actually start delivering vehicles under 6 figures. At least I hope that's the case, but I still think congratulations are in order for Lucid making an insanely fast vehicle that's probably gonna kill the Plaid at the track. And my only message to Tesla and Elon Musk is, what you gonna do about it, huh? You don't have the fastest electric sedan anymore, so maybe you should do something. Maybe release that Plaid Plus Model S, which actually is a great example of how battery packs make a difference, because if you recall, Tesla said the Plaid Plus Model S would get a quarter-mile time in under 9 seconds and have 1100 horsepower, and the only difference between the Plaid Plus and the Plaid was the battery pack, and that one was also supposed to get over 520 miles of range. So Tesla was originally hoping those 4680 batteries would be higher voltage, higher energy density, and still have great weight, but because they wanted to prioritize the Model Y ramp, they decided not to do that, and we ended up getting the regular Plaid Model S. But hopefully this pushes Tesla to actually release the Roadster next year and try to beat the Lucid Sapphire at the track with an air cannon, because yeah, that Roadster would definitely smoke it and probably cost around the same price. The only sacrifice being it's not a 4-door, 5-seater sedan, but I really don't think people are paying over $200,000 for vehicles because of their practicality and how many people they can sit. If you're buying the Sapphire, it's because you want to go fast and you want to take it to the track. Same thing with the Roadster. Let me know what you guys think of the updated design. I also think it's like the best looking Lucid I've ever seen, down in the comments below. And thank you to everyone on Patreon supporting this channel directly. Seriously, helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos. So thanks again, and have an excellent rest of your day.